I got that going again. Yes, we have a few technical difficulties this morning, and I'm waiting on my guests to get ready. Just letting you know that today we're doing country music. Star Kathy Louvin. Her father was Ira Louvin of the Louvin brothers. And we're going to talk a little bit about some music instead of Bigfoot. And as soon as she gets ready, we'll go live here. I'm still waiting on her to come into the studio. Good morning, David, Sharon. Glad to see y'all. Let me check with her and see how much she likes being ready. Okay. I don't know. It's one of those things that's she didn't think she was going to be on camera, and now she's got to get her makeup fixed up. And she says 2 minutes. Okay, we got 2 minutes to kill, so we'll get this done as soon as she gets on. But a little background story. My stepfather's mother was a Loudermilk, and you go back up the family line of the Loudermilks. You come to J.D. Loudermilk, which was the father of the Louvin brothers, as I understand it, which I think he must have been the stepfather. Let me go cut this other light out behind me. I'll be right back. As everybody knows, I'm no professional. I'm just a big goof up one way or the other. Hey, Billy, Gary, Carl, good to see all y'all. Still waiting on her to get herself all prettied up for us. Let me see. So, let me go over here and get this set up. Virtual background. Go down here, scroll up down here. We'll do this one today. That'll work. Okay, Billy. But yeah, her father was Ira Louvin of the Louvin brothers, and I'm not sure if if J.D. Loudermilk was their daddy or their stepfather. I have to get that straightened out today, and we'll get on with that. So yes, that makes her a cousin of mine through marriage, and I haven't got to really talk a whole lot to her or her uncle's two sons, Sonny and I forgot. I think it's I forget Sonny's brother's name. I'm doing good this morning, ain't I? But anyhow, we want to talk about their music and how things progressed around and got to where she's at today. And okay, we should be getting close when she shows up down here. I'll bring her on. Hey, Deb. Gary, you doing okay, you buddy? Here we go. Good morning, Miss
Stephanie. Hang on. I gotta cross my.
We're live.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve.
You deserve a lot better than what you're doing. What you got doing that banging noise there?
I've got some milk frosting.
Well, like I say, we're live on the air right now, so okay. I'd like to say.
And that's my granddaughter in the background.
Good. I've got a question. I've been trying to get straight in my head. Was your daddy's was JD Loudermilk your daddy's real fathers or their stepfathers?
John D.
Yeah.
He was Dad and Uncle Charlie's fourth cousin, I want to say.
Charlie. I thought he's the daddy.
Well, you know, he would be related to both of them the same way. So he was their fourth cousin, is what I understood.
Okay, so I've been totally wrong all along. I don't really. We never were that close with John D. And so I never really knew that much about our relationship, about, you know, the actual blood kin connection. Okay, well, like I say, I was told, and I found records showing that they were actually his daddy. I mean, he was their daddy. But I guess if somebody screwed that up online wherever I got them records at there.
Hey, there's so much information. Let me tell you. It's like I was telling somebody the other day, I find out something new about my family every time I go online. Because there's so much stuff out there, and you know, it's funny. We've never really been what you'd call a close-knit, you know, stay in touch kind of family for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but that's the way it was with us.
Well, how did you get started in the country music?
It all started with getting drug out of the bed at 3 and 4 and 5 years old to come and sing at the living room jam sessions. I don't know. You know, I lost both my.
You lost your volume now. You're still no can hear. I tell you what, I'll take you out and bring you back and see if it gets the volume back in. That didn't do it. You're going to have to do it yourself, I think. See where it says leave studio down there? You hit that, then hit the link again and come back on in. Can you hear me? Can you hear me or? Okay. Down at the bottom or somewhere on there should be a red X that says leave studio. You click that, then click on the link and come back. Or you should have a microphone down there, a mute button. Try clicking it. No, that ain't working either. Let's see.
There.
Yeah, there you are.
It responded.
Okay, back to the.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Hear you loud and clear.
Now I can't hear you.
Can't hear me.
Oh, now I can. Yeah.
Okay.
The gremlins are at work today, Wendell. The gremlins are at work.
You know it. Every time I'd like to not have got my camera to work before I got started here.
What? Say that again.
My camera was almost not working.
Oh.
It had me all blurry. It was a mess.
Oh my goodness. What is this thing doing?
I think we got a delay in our communications here.
Okay. Now let's see if that's better.
Okay, you hear me now?
Is that better?
I hear you fine.
I've never been on this website, StreamYard. I've never seen this website before.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, just about everybody I know uses StreamYard. It's free. So
yeah.
So all right. People in the chat are saying sounds good, looks good. So I guess we're doing good.
All right. I can't keep the screen up. It keeps reducing. Google keeps anyway. God.
Well, you looking fine on mine.
It's almost like something's trying to get after it. It's almost like it's trying to crash. It is. Good
Maybe
gracious.
You're too far away from your Wi-Fi.
I'm no further away from it than I ever am.
Okay.
It's right outside the window here. Good gracious.
Well, tell us some of the stories about your daddy and Uncle Charlie.
Stories about Daddy and Uncle Charlie. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, well, they started out doing what they do at 4 and 9 years old.
Yeah.
And so they started out at that age, and Daddy had made him a little stringed instrument from an old syrup can, and some stuff. I don't know what all he used. Eileen tells it funny, but so anyway, they had started singing together just from listening to the Opry and stuff, because they all did that. That was their evening at home, sit around and listen to the.
Yes, I remember that Saturday evenings
old Phil Cole tube
Grand Ole
radio
Opry.
for the Grand Ole Opry.
Yes.
So anyway, but they would go down. They would wait until Papa and Grandmother went to sleep at night, and they would sneak down the holler to a guy's house, and he would pay them, and they would sing for him, and he was a moonshiner, and they'd have a little party down there every night. So they kind of started out that way, and Papa found out about it. The guy, whoever he was, Lonnie Justice, I think was his name, came down to the house and was bragging on him, coming down there and singing. And he said, "What are you talking about?" And so they were busted. But the good thing that came out of that was that Papa went down and bought Daddy a real guitar at a pawn shop in Fort Payne. So that was good. And he of course, everybody recognized that special thing that they had, and he started to nurture it right then. He started to bringing him. He brought home 78s of all their favorite singers, the Blue Sky Boys and Bill Monroe and all of them, and played them, and so he really encouraged their music, which was a good thing. But the stories that they they're not really family rated, not really rated. One funny one was Paul Yandel tells that their old guitar player said that they were leaving town one night going on some dates, and they had left the Opry. They played the Opry, and they were leaving Nashville by way of Broadway and going out and inching out away from town. And he said that Charlie was driving and he was in the front seat and Daddy was in the back seat. And they got out of town and got on the highway, and Daddy sat up all of a sudden and said, "Hey, pull this car over." Said, I need you to pull this car over. And they were saying, "What's the matter? What's going on?" And he said, "Pull over." And he said, "What's going on?" And Charlie did. And Ira said, I just now figured out how I'm going to whip your ass. They fought. Hillbilly kids fought all the time. They'd kill for one another, but they would fight amongst each other quite a bit. And I always thought that was funny. But the stories are, pretty rags to riches, working at the post office and working at, having to get up at 3 to go do a radio show, and then go to work at the post office, and then get off at the post office and drive all night to do a date, and drive all night to be back at work at the post office. And that's the kind of dedication that they had to have back then. There weren't any bells and whistles. There weren't, they didn't have what we have. They didn't have internet and all that. They didn't have any of that. They didn't even have, there were no thought of a cell phone or anything like that. And everything that they did, it had to be done organically and by the grit of their teeth. And they had to have a passion for the music that people don't even know about these days, but they hung in there, and they got their first recording contract. Well, the first one was with Decca, I think, or MGM. The first one was with MGM, and then they had a quick run on Decca. But when they signed at Capitol Records, that was the label that got behind them and believed in them, and they were still gospel artists. They were gospel artists at that time. And This thing is doing some crazy stuff here.
Well, I got a
All
picture
these
of.
windows are opening.
I got a
Okay. Do
picture.
what?
I got a picture of you standing beside that memorial that they did in Henniger.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. That's a nice little thing they did.
yes. When did they do that?
That's been, I want to say 3 years ago now that was put up.
That's really
Um,
nice.
yeah, that's really nice. And they put up a memorial in Chattanooga too. Over there around Market Street, I think, or somewhere around where their little hoity-toity district is. I don't know what it's called, but they did that recently.
Too bad you didn't have a picture of that. I could put it up.
Yeah, it's let's see. I don't know if I could find a picture of it real quick or not. Let's see. It's just a memorial. Tells who they are and where they came from. And God, why are all these boxes popping up on my computer screen? This is crazy.
It takes a bit to get used to StreamYard.
Okay.
One that
Okay.
says present should pop up there. You press it and it'll give you media files. Then that should take you into your pictures.
It's a neat little app.
And if you find a picture you want to post, you click on it and it should say posted or display or something. And all you got to do is click on that and it should pop it
God,
up.
I can't even find the mouse. I can't find my mouse. Where'd it go? There it is. Good gracious. Let's see. No, I don't see it.
Billy, I don't have any other music to play for you, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't see that.
A friend of mine wanted me to play some of their music, and I don't have none that I could play for them.
Their music, just about everything that they've ever recorded is available on YouTube.
Yes, it is. He's just going to have to go hunt it.
I mean, you can just if you know the title of it, you can put it on. We're all on YouTube, and so a lot of times I'm looking for one and I can't find it, and I'll go on YouTube and there it'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting ready to do a show. Myself and my two sons, Billy and Jacob Louvin, are getting ready to do that reunion show that's at the Texas Troubadour on June the 5th. It's
Cool.
an annual thing. It's the kids of the country music famous people. That's what it is. And it's called the reunion show is what it's called.
Is it one of the country music family reunion things?
Yeah, it's
I forget his name, who's actually MCs the whole thing during the show. Where where they got everybody sitting around in the room and
No, I think you're thinking of Larry's Country Diner or the Bill Anderson.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is just a live a live band live show where each country music artist or each of the entertainers comes out and does three of the songs that their parents made famous.
Okay, sounds like a
That's what
good
they. That's what
time.
they. Yeah, it's a fun little time.
So when did you
It's
start doing the professional uh, artists?
Oh, I really I started as a writer. I signed my first publishing deal with Mel Tillis in '88, in
Okay.
1988, and I had sworn off the music business. You know, I had sworn it off uh, because there was a lot of bad stuff that I associated with the music business,
Yeah.
and later to find out it wasn't the music's fault.
No, it wasn't
But
the music, it was the people.
yeah, so I just I signed my first deal in '88 with Mel and stayed with him for a little while. Went over to Tower Street Music, and then I was with Judy Harris for a while, and just kind of ran the muck for a bit. But I started getting songs cut at when I was at Mel's, and they just they were a good pitch team over there, and they got a lot of songs cut over there, and so I really um, I sort of kind of disappeared from the music business in about 2000, 2001, something like that,
Yeah.
and and went under a rock and didn't come out for a few years. But so I recorded a CD. It's on YouTube. It's called Time Served, and wrote a book, and that's called Time Served as well, and it's on Amazon. It's available on Amazon, and so getting ready to kind of get back out there again, and so kind of kicking it off. I had a stroke earlier this year, so
That ain't good.
I had to get that out of the way.
Yeah. You seem to
um,
be doing good since then. So I guess
well, it's all about timing. I have learned with
yeah.
strokes, it's all about timing. And I was in the hospital visiting my son Billy, who a week before had been on the might make it, might not make it list. And so they had moved him downtown to Centennial from out here. He was out in Maury in Columbia. But anyway, so I was down there visiting him. I had packed my bags. I was going to go down and stay, a few days, like us old country moms do, at the
Of course.
hospital,
Of
and
course.
stay. And I got there and unloaded my stuff, and in about 5 minutes, I was on the floor. And the head of neurology um, for that department was in his room, standing next to his bed, and said to the nurse there, "Get me a chair. She's having a stroke." And I was on the operating table within 30 minutes.
Wow.
And they.
I
So there
guess
you go. That's my
timing
miracle of the year.
I guess you're right. That it timed it just right to be right there with the doctor and everything when it happened.
If I had been out here doing what I normally would be doing on a Saturday morning, feeding and doing and mowing or whatever else I might have been doing, or
Yeah.
there wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have made it.
Oh. How old was you when your daddy's car crashed?
Do what again?
How old was you when your daddy had his car crash?
I was 6. I was 6 years old.
So you really didn't get to spend that many years with him.
Mm-mm.
That's sad.
No, not at all. It was actually the year that I turned 7. He got killed in June, and I turned 7 in September. No, I didn't. And the memories I have of him are not that great. But I do have some good and tender memories of him, but I'd say the most of them aren't that great.
Yeah, he was probably too busy on the road doing his shows and stuff.
He was gone a lot. He was gone a lot. Mm-hmm.
Well, are you getting along with Charlie's sons?
Well, no.
Not really. I remember Sonny's name. I can't remember the other one. Is it Glenn?
Wait, you're cutting out. Do what now?
I say I can't remember Glenn's brother's, Sonny's brother's name.
Oh, he's got 2 brothers. One is called Ken, and one is named Glenn.
Right. I remember Glenn. At one time we were friends on Facebook.
Yeah, Glenn is kind of a loose cannon. He's well, we all have our issues.
Yeah, we do. We can't.
But we just never were that close growing up. I don't know. Sonny and I were. Now Sonny and I were always close, growing up. But for some reason, it didn't work out that way. We weren't. It wasn't encouraged for us to grow close together. It wasn't encouraged for us to love each other and accept each other. That just wasn't encouraged in our family.
Well, it should have been.
Yeah, it really should have been, because we missed out on a lot. We missed out on a lot. I love your is that your forest?
That's just one of the backgrounds for my podcast. I do a couple of different ones. And, let me get my mouth working here.
Sounds like our place most of the time.
Go away. Oh, we got sirens going off and the dogs going off. And shut up. Shut the door back. Star, hush, baby girl. Go in yonder. Go in yonder. Go in yonder. Go. Okay. Star. Go. Excuse me a minute.
That's quite all right. You heard my granddaughter at the beginning of the show.
Get. Take care with you. Go, Star. Go with him. All right. Maybe we can just settle down here and we get back to how many records have you produced?
How many records? What?
How many records have you put out?
Have I put out one?
Yes.
Just one CD. It's 12 songs, I think. I mean, I co-produced a couple of things. One that never made it to the stands for Dual Tone because they can't remember what they say. But anyway, I co-produced a tribute to the Louvin brothers that was on Universal South. That won a couple of Grammys. We won a Grammy for the best the video, and then the best bluegrass, the best compilation album, I think it was.
That's cool. Well, let's see. We've been on. We're on for 37 minutes, but we're supposed to at least go an hour, and things are getting crazy. Trying to. So you're not planning to do any more records or anything like that?
I am, and I'm getting ready to record my sons. They are getting ready to do an EP of LOUVIN Brothers music, and mainly so we can own the masters, because Sony still thinks they own the masters, and they say that they have more money to pay legal fees than we do, so we just have to.
What's the records on the wall behind you there?
Oh, those are from stuff I've written.
You got a gold one up there, I see.
That's the Randy Travis album. The "Oh What a Silent Night" was the song that was on his Old Time Christmas. Can you see him? And Martina McBride and Ricky Van Shelton. Those are those platinum ones, and these are Confederate Railroad and Dwight Yoakam. I had a song that Dwight and Patty Loveless did a duet on called "Send a Message to My Heart," and that went platinum. So I've had a blessed career of my own. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I'm fussing at the phone.
Oh.
Everybody in the chat seems to be enjoying your little records on the wall and your stories there. So that's good. As long as they're hearing you, that's more important than what they're hearing from me.
Is there a particular this person David has this question? Is there a particular lyric or song of yours that resonates with you most deeply right now? I would say mostly "Keep It Between the Lines" has the lyrical content in that song. It's an always, it's a no matter what you're going through song, you know. And Ricky Van Shelton did that one. He carried that to a platinum status.
So who's
But
the gold record by back there? Just what they're trying to figure out.
That's the Randy Travis Old Time Christmas album
Okay.
that I had a song on.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah, that was actually my first major recording, major artist recording, was that Christmas song. Mm-hmm.
Could you do a song for us? That way they get to hear a little bit of your singing.
I do a song. I guess I could if I had my guitar out here, but it is in the house and I'm out in the office.
Well, we'll skip it then. It's just an idea I had off the top of my head there.
We should be better prepared, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
I guess I left my phone in there too. I would tell my son to bring it out here, but I guess I left my phone in there too. It's raining, you know.
It's raining here too. So
raining, and I need to just be in the bed under a pillow on days like this because I can't think. I just can't think.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I was trying to think.
If I could collaborate with any artist today, who would it be and why? Oh, I'd have to say Dolly Parton.
Do you know her?
I know her.
Have you heard of?
He knows me.
Have you heard of Grady Nix? They call him Chico. He used to be with the Prophets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't. I've heard his name, but I can't place. I can't place him right now. His name sounds familiar.
Well, he's a cousin of mine too.
Okay.
And they were on the Porter Wagner show with Porter and Dolly back in the day. And
yeah.
I'm trying to get a hold to him again and see if I can get him on one of my podcasts. Well, since I am into Bigfoot, have you ever had any experience with one?
Well, that's funny you should ask. We were standing out on the back porch of my aunt's house not long ago. And she lives down at the foot of, what mountain is that? I can't remember. Anyway, she lives in Whitwell, Tennessee, and her house sits at the foot of this big mountain, you know.
Yeah.
This big mountain that you drive through to get to Chattanooga, if you don't want to go to the interstate. But we were standing out on her back porch one night and started hearing the noises, started hearing the sounds, banging on trees, banging, and then that holler that they have, that holler that they do. We didn't never see anything, but we sure heard, and then we heard one answering them back, you know.
Wow.
It was crazy. We recorded it.
There's a friend of mine lives up there close to that part of Tennessee. His name's Roger Williams. He has a podcast called Squatch and Holler.
Mm-hmm.
He might like to go over there and take a walk around the woods one day, see what he can find.
Yeah. Let's see. So what I'm doing here is let's see.
Is that south of Athens, Tennessee?
It's right over Monteagle Mountain. It's between Jasper and Chattanooga.
Okay. David asked another
Let's
question.
see. I'm gonna. So what I was gonna do is I'm gonna share the link um to my album
Okay.
in the chat. Well, I guess I would connect your YouTube account to connect to comment. What do you mean connect?
Is that it that David just posted?
Well, I guess I can't. I guess I can't.
Can you see David's post?
Mm-hmm.
Is that your what you was trying to post?
Let me get it back up here. Let's see.
It says it's www.youtube.com Kathy Liver dash videos.
I don't know about the videos part, but it might be.
Well, he
But you
just
can go on there.
posted.
It's Kathy Lubin. Okay. Oh yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
So we got folks can do all kind of crazy stuff in our chat. See.
Oklahoma Cryptid Search Team.
Yeah, you see his question.
Where? Which one?
The Oklahoma cryptid. What he's
Where it says yes, it is, but the fulfillment of creating a song. That comment.
yes,
Yeah.
and yeah, David also asked a question. Do you feel your songwriting voice is more influenced by your father's era or your own living experience?
Do I feel that my what now?
That's your songwriting voice. I don't know what he means by that, but is more influenced by your father's era of music or your own living experience?
Oh, it. The stuff I write will always sound like it's from 1950. That's because I only know about 3 or 4 chords on the guitar. But I think lyrically, I think it's all our living experiences. Yeah, it that can be a good statement there. But I think as far as the melodies, my melodies are. My son says, "Mom, you're so what does he say? Predictable." But anyway.
So it's your style, and that's what you're sticking to it. That's it.
I guess so. I guess so.
That's good.
I tell folks I can't do a lot, but I can write a country song.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Kathy. I need to get a little better prepared for my next time to get you on, get more questions lined up. But I'm glad to hear that you've had an experience with the big fellas out in the woods.
Mhm.
How do you see role as a bridge between generations?
So I'm gonna investigate StreamYard and see and start because we're gonna start something, and we just figured we'd start on YouTube. But why YouTube?
How you like? How about this question here?
How do you see your role as a bridge between generations? And can you touch on your son's journey? Well, you know, I have always been kind of a reluctant receiver of all of these uh, this stuff about being in a generation of a music maker and all. Um, but I just we have to remain true to the roots of where we come from musically, or music will disappear and go into the electronic land of bells and whistles and buttons to push. And so to be a bridge between generations is it's important.
Yeah, I know.
Stop all sorry.
I've recently heard a few songs generated by that artificial intelligence. Some of them's pretty good, but I'm not sure if I like it or not.
I don't know. I don't know how people could call themselves a songwriter or say that they even wrote a song after giving it to an artificial intelligence being to do. I don't know. But like I said, there was a time when we wouldn't have even believed in that there would ever be anything like a cell phone or anything
Right.
like that. It's
Yeah, the things we've seen in our lifetime that
my son's
people take
journey.
for
He said, "Can I touch on my son's journey?" My son is, well, one of them's almost 40, but then the one's 27, 28, my youngest one. And, it's so funny because I think they ought to just pick up that LOUVIN mantle and just go right on with it, because they sing just like them and they sound like them and everything. And I'm always thinking, they should just pick that up on and go with it, but they're not into it. They're just not into. They're very musical and prolific in their writing and everything, but they're not. They don't think that way. They don't. They just. So I'm just stepping back and I'm going to see what they're going to do. I mean, they are going to do some LOUVIN stuff, but they're going to do it their way, I guess.
well,
We'll see
that's
what happens.
okay. As long as they just trying to keep it in the family.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
Well, we're almost at an hour, so we about made it. So, and finally got all the bugs worked out. So we're doing good.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and like you said, next time we'll be more prepared.
Yes.
I see here where I can present things like videos and audio,
Yeah.
image files and video files. So I can, bring some stuff maybe and share it.
Yes, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I got another show this afternoon at 7 o'clock with ex wrestler Randy Rockin' Randy Stewart, and he's now doing podcast and TV and radio on streaming on line, and so that ought to be an interesting show if you get time to watch us this evening.
All righty. I've got both my granddaughters this evening, so I doubt if I will.
And you look me up on YouTube as Wendell Bigfoot 911.
All right. Will do.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's been an honor talking with you and hearing a little bit about your family and your music. And I'm going to say goodbye to everybody else. If you'll just hang on a few minutes after I hit this end stream button here, where we can get everything transferred over to YouTube.
All right.